Hey guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, first of all, sorry for not uploading in a little while. It's been like 8-9 days, but in today's video we're gonna be making a sprint system. So like, let's say you press shift or control, you get a speed boost, maybe your FOV changes. So yeah, let's get started. In started player scripts, hit the plus and we can insert a local script. I'm just gonna name this sprint. You can name this whatever you want. Now we're gonna start off by making a few variables so we can remove print hello world. First one we're gonna do is local UIS, which stands for user input service, equals game get service user input service. User input service is a service which, well, pretty much it's just the user's input. You can get what buttons or keys the player presses, and this way we can check when the player presses shift or control, and then we can make it do something, which will be speeding up the player. Now what we can do is get the player, so local player equals game, not player, the local player. Since this is a local script, we can store a local player in a player variable. Now we're just gonna do a little wait. Task.wait 0.2. We just want to make sure that the player's character is actually there, or well, the player's there before we get the player's character. Because now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a variable for the player's humanoid to set its speed and such. So local humanoid equals game, or actually no, it will be player dot character dot humanoid, or let's do wait for child humanoid. If you haven't seen my video on why or how to use wait for child, it's just making sure that, or it's waiting for humanoid to be inside of the player's character before we do anything. Now in this we're going to be changing the player's field of view. So you know how a usual script, when someone's sprinting they are more zoomed out, we're going to be doing something like that. So let's make a variable for our default FOV, which is field of view. So local default FOV equals 70. You can change that to whatever your default FOV is in your game if it's altered in any way. So we're gonna get when an input is began, so we're gonna do UIS, which is user input service dot input began connect function input. So when an input begins, that input is going to be passed by this input variable right here. And now we're gonna do if input dot keycode equals enum dot keycode dot, and then this is where you can put any key. I'm just gonna do left control. Then so if inputs keep code, so if pretty much input is equals to left control, then and now we can edit the player's walk speed and such. So the first thing we're gonna do is humanoid dot walk speed equals 30. You can change this to whatever you want. This is just gonna be the player's walk speed. And now we're gonna do a little bit of a tween. So what we're gonna do is let's make something called local properties, and then let's set this to a table. So we're making a variable, and this is how you start off by creating a table. What we're gonna do is we should probably change the player's field field of view equals, and let's just set that to like 100. So this is when the player speeds up. This is what you want to do, or actually what we could just do is default FOV plus, and then if this is 20, if I want to get to 100, I'll do 30. Actually, let's do 20. So field of view, this is the property we're gonna get in the player's camera, and we're gonna set the field of view in the camera to the default field of view, which is 70 in our variable, plus 20, so it'll be 90. So the field of view will be set to 90. Now we're gonna make a tween info. So what we're gonna do is local info equals, and now we're gonna do tween info dot new. So we're creating a new pair of information for our tween. The first parameter, as you can see, is the time. This is how quick you want it to tween. So I'll just do 0.5 seconds as it's a pretty good amount. And now it's your tweening style. As you can see, enum.easing style. So we can do enum.easing style dot, let's say, quad. and then enum dot using direction dot in out. You could do in or out, everything's up to you. So this is just our basic information, or some stats we could call it. So local tween will be equivalent to game get service tween service. Tween service is the service that we can tween things with, and then we're going to do create. This is creating a new tween. So now we can pass the player's camera, so game.workspace.current camera, because this is what we want the tween information to apply to. And then we're going to pass the information, and then we're going to pass properties, which is going to be our field of view being set to 90. So this would be similar to doing a tween, and instead of info, it'll just implement, it's like replacing info with this. So it's like doing this, but we're just gonna neaten it out a little bit by doing info and properties, just making a few variables just to make this easier for ourselves. And then we can obviously play our tween, so tween play. So now the player's camera should zoom out once we start, or once we hit left control. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Obviously right now when we let go of left control, nothing's gonna happen. We got an error. I'm just going to go here. So you might want to wait, attempt index no, yeah. So what we're going to do, let's just change this to a wait instead of a task dot wait, because it might wait better. And I'm going to change this to about 1 second, just to be secure, because Studio loads a little bit slower than, yeah. Let's add this, let's make this a little bit longer. So we're just gonna do repeat task dot wait until player, until game not players dot local player. So this is going to repeat wait until there's a local player. This is pretty useful for scenarios where you want to make sure something's added before you apply it to a variable. So we might want to add something else to this, but yeah, so it keeps, or not managing to get the player's character. So I guess what we can do for a player, since this is in starter player, this is going to be in starter player scripts. What we could just do is player equals script dot parent dot parent dot parent. That should be about right, since our delay isn't actually working how we want it. Character is not a valid member of players. Oops, I might have had one extra parent. Let's just give this a try. Attempt to index nil with wait for child. So I guess the character is invalid. Well, we might have to do a little bit of modifying for this, but I'm gonna add another wait. Wait 5 seconds. Game no player, local player. I'll just wait 10 seconds. Just gonna be secure. Sorry for that little problem. Roblox Studio never loads quick enough for me. As you can see, 10-second delay, and so far no problem. Yep, seems to be no problem. So now if we hit left control, as you can see, I speed up, and well, now I'm quick, and my FOV is already changed, so I can't really demonstrate it going away. So we're quick, and if we go ahead and go to check our humanoid and we go to our walk speed, as you can see our walk speed is 30, so we speed it up. So now we're gonna make it so we slow down. So what we're gonna do, it's pretty similar, it's pretty much this exact same thing, except instead of input began, it's input ended. So you could copy and paste all of this and replace this to input ended and change this to 16 and remove the 20, but I won't be doing that. I'll just retype it. So UIS dot input ended connect function input, if input dot keycode equals enum dot keycode dot left control, then humanoid dot walk speed equals, and then the default walk speed for your game, which in my case it's 16, which is by default. Now we can make a local properties variable. Local properties equals a table, field of view equals default FOV. This time we're not going to add any numbers onto it because we just want it to be the default FOV or field of view. Then we can do local info equals tween info dot new. Oh, I just noticed we actually forgot to re-add the 0.5 enum dot easing style dot quad and enum dot easing direction dot and out. I accidentally forgot to re-add that. My bad on my part. If you forgot to do that, just make sure you add that back. And we're gonna do the same thing here. So 0.5 enum dot easing style dot quad enum dot easing direction dot in out. And then we're going to do local tween equals game service tween service create game.workspace.current camera info and then properties, and we're going to play our tween. So I didn't really explain much of what's going on here, but hopefully this first part explained it to you. It's pretty much the same thing, as you can see, it's just barely different. So that should be our sprinting script, so let's go ahead and give it a try. We're gonna have to wait a few seconds to make sure that the player is fully loaded for the game. So let's just give it a moment. I guess we can try it out. Oh, we gotta wait a little bit longer. Maybe I shouldn't have added 10 seconds, but as you can see, if I hold left control, I speed up and my camera goes out a little bit, and then if I let go of it, I slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up. Perfect. And oops, I accidentally selected the spawn point and now it's cloning 100 times. Maybe I should get rid of some of those. Well, that's not ending well. But yeah, hopefully this video helped you. Hopefully you enjoyed. So yeah, see you.